Hello friends, I hope everyone is doing well. Sorry I did take a little bit long before making this one. Life got a little bit rough, but here I am and here you are. Welcome back and good job for making it this far. Art can be hard and it's easier to quit sometimes than it is to push through the hard parts. So if you're still following along, I'm very proud of you. Okay, so today, I know I said in the previous video that I'm going to do different types of shading, more explained, but I basically work on a basis of whatever my subscribers ask for, I try and provide first. So if you want to be able to be one of those that request what I make videos of next, you can go to my TikTok and subscribe to me on TikTok. That also gives you the opportunity to get critiques from me and get me to give advice to you personally, you know, work with you a little bit. And you could even have video call opportunities with me. So you can definitely go check out my different options on TikTok. But enough said, I wasn't trying to plug, I was just trying to explain why I pick the topics I pick. So today we're going to do eyes, because eyes is pretty difficult usually for people. So we're going to do a few different eyes. And as you can see, I'm going to explain to you what we did here. So this one is Misty from Pokemon's eyes. This one is Shaggy from Scooby-Doo's eyes. This one is Eddie and Eddie. This is V. This is Naruto. This one is my own one, and that one's my own one. Like my own thought out ones, like my own creative ones, right? As you can see, whenever we're doing something that's more like animated, we have shadows like this, where it's just different shades or tones of your pencil, of your gray. And when we do a color version of it, just different tones or shades of the color you're working with. You can eventually, when we're advanced, you can go crazy with the colors. But I'm going to suggest at first sticking to one hue and just working with different shades within that hue. For those who doesn't understand the words I just used, let me explain that. So on the color wheel, you know the color wheel, right? There's a wheel we have with like different sections of colors. I just can't see mine around me now, so I'm not gonna go on a rabbit hole finding it. It's somewhere. Let's say red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. Well, that one doesn't have to be there. Okay. So that's our basic color wheel. We have three primary colors: red, blue, and yellow, and then we have secondary colors: purple, orange, and green. Together, this makes the color wheel. Each one of these colors we call a hue. A hue is one shade of color. Within this color, there's different shades of orange. There's like a pastel, then more vivid, then a more like a terracotta. Like you'll get your browns also over here. Those are called tints and shades, or you can just call them tones, different tones. It's pretty similar to how music works actually, but yeah, I'll leave it there. So when I'm saying work within one hue, just different tones, what I mean is have a light blue, have a sky blue, and then have like a phthalo blue, right? And then work with those. That's what I use here, for instance. Right? Makes sense, I think. Okay, great. I'm glad it does. Enough about that. That's just a little explanation of what's going on here. What I was working on and figuring out how I'm going to explain this to the rest. And in doing that, I realized I need to explain a very basic thing first and foremost. First and foremost, this is not how not to draw an eye. If you are drawing eyes like this, like it's a fish, you are doing it wrong. Okay, stop immediately doing it that way. If you were going to draw it just like this without guidelines, it would look like this more than anything else. Because inside of that is the eyeball. If we had to go like around the eye and show the entire eye shape, it would probably look like this. And you see how it's not the apex parts, so the parts that curve the most, right? They are not directly aligned. So obviously doing it like this and creating the curve both places in the same place will never, with any eye, work. Because even look at Naruto's eyes. Curve not in the same place. Curve not in the same place. The only curve that's in the same place is perhaps something like this. That's very cartoony. That's the only time. The only time you'll ever do this is if this is your style and this is the type of cartoons you draw. Then fine, do whatever you want. But understand that you are a cartoonist then, and that is not necessarily the way to draw all eyes in general. It's just for that specific style that you have then. Because you can draw an eye however you want to for your specific style. Doesn't matter what kind of freaking eyeballs you want to make. You want to make these ones, you want to make ones that's that, like that. It doesn't matter what eyeballs you want to make if it's your style of cartoon. So if you feel like you want to be a cartoonist, then instead of trying to remake other people's pictures, start today working on your own characters and creating your own characters. Doesn't matter what they look like because it's your characters. Like there's that girl on Instagram that just draw butts, like stick figure butts, you know, like basic line, and she does very well for herself because that's her niche. So if you're gonna niche yourself, that's fine, do that. But don't try, for instance, and draw Naruto's eyes like this. No, please don't. His eyes doesn't look like that. Okay, so now how to draw an eye technically. Technically, when we are doing fine art, we make a circle. And this is how to make your perfect circle, by the way. You make lots of circles and you allow the circle to form within. So you see, you can connect the lines and make a circle out of all of the scribbles you made. A perfect circle can emerge. All right. That's how to make the perfect circle, by the way. Okay, so you make a circle, then you want to make a line that's over here. You want to make a line that's just about, okay, let's start with a halfway line, and then we want a quarter line, and we want another quarter line, and then we want that. So you want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines, like a guitar. You want to put a guitar on there. That's cool. No, it's 5, it's not 6. I'm counting like my ass. Anyways, so we're gonna now start doing the eye. And I want to explain it this technically to you so that everyone can understand it well enough. Yes. So you're gonna again make 5 lines, but vertically also. So you have a bunch of blocks going around here. Now you're gonna, and you want to make one more extra line for the vertical ones on each side because your eye extends over the ball. Alright, so you're gonna start here on the bottom, there by this line, just past the line. I'm gonna go just past this. Actually, not. Go to this top, this line, this one, not there. Yeah, right. And then here at the end of the eyeball, at the middle line, we're gonna stop. And then over here, little bit straight down, and then you come across like this, and then it's going to come over here like that. And then your eyeball on the inside has like this little hooky, this little corner thing there, right? Your tear duct. And it's a little bit shaded from there so that your eyeball you can see it's round, right? And then also usually over there some shading, and then usually at the top is also some shading by the lid. We will come in with the darker pencils in a moment. Like I've been teaching you with the shading, I use different shades of pencils. This is just a normal HB that I start to sketch out what I want to do. And your iris. Then as far as highlights go on the iris and on the eyeball, you want to make it, doesn't really matter what kind of highlights you make. I'm going to leave little blocks open there on the iris. Like that. And then like across from that over here will be also a highlight. Right, so like basically just a little bit more opposite. Then your iris is gonna come like this. Oh yeah, it's iris. Right, that one's the pupil. Sorry, I said the wrong word the first time. Pupil and iris. And the iris is gonna go like this, and it'll have bits and pieces, and then bits and pieces. But the one side will definitely be darker than the other side. Let's see. And then there will be a highlight over there. And then the eyelid, now we have to form the eyelid. That's why we have that rest of that stuff there. So the eyelid will probably be like this. And then like this you'll make a little bit also. And then there will be shading over there. There will be shading there. And your eyebrow. Come like this. Okay. And then lashes. Okay. And then in bottom eyelid, you take that a little bit past. And the bottom eyelid is going to go just there. You only see it like up to about the middle, then you don't see that anymore. Like your bottom tear line. Alright, so let's get a darker pencil now, so we can solidify some of those lines a bit more. Yes, a 2B. Okay, I'm gonna go to the darker parts first. So like the top eye line, or like tear line, and then the bottom tear line, but the outside of it first. So where you made that outside line, and then this you do like this. See. Right. Ah. I don't know why it's going so low over here. Why is it? Why did I do that? See, sometimes you fuck it up for yourself. Oh, sorry. Bleep. Sometimes you screw it up for yourself. And you have to come in with the eraser. While I'm here, gonna do the rest of the erasing I wanted to do also. You can start erasing your lines for yourself also, your guidelines. They usually like just melt in with the surroundings, and anyways, so I end up taking very few of them off, because you should be able to like just cover them. This we're not gonna now do too much. We're just gonna shade it a little bit around it. So as you can see, we're just starting to like bring more depth in by adding darker parts in contrast to brighter parts. Yes, that is what gives an image some depth. and the quality. I feel, I know, for me, it's like it looks better. Just looks better. Doesn't look so flat. I have a hair on my hand. It's irritating me. And usually there's a shadow here by your nose, right? By the bridge of your nose. Shadow over here. So. And then eyelashes. See? Doesn't that look awesome though? Sure. Very cool. Oh, that's an eye. So that's a basic technical way of drawing an eye. But I would suggest that if you don't know what your style is or how you want to draw or what you want to get into, even if you do, go to Pinterest and type in, let's say you want to learn how to draw anime eyes, then type in anime eye drawing, and then look, it's going to give you so many options. And then you just look at some of them and try and like do something that's similar to what you're seeing on the screen. Like break it down for yourself. Oh, there's this color, then there's a circle, and then there's some darker color around it. How would one, and then you start experimenting on how this process would go. The first time is not going to come out looking well. It's going to be an experimentation. You can't also, this is very important. I need you to listen. Are you listening? Are you listening, Linda? Linda, listen. Listen, honey, listen. You cannot expect to become an expert or a master artist in a year, in 2 years, in 3 years even, since you started. Definitely not in a month or two. Definitely not on your first drawing. They're gonna suck. Would you like to know how long I've been drawing? I've been drawing since I was maybe 3 years old, 2 years old, 3 years old. Sure, those were kids' drawings, everybody was drawing them, but I was excessively drawing. By the time that I was 6, I was 7 and I could draw perfect proportions on a human body. So you cannot compare how other artists who maybe have a natural talent and was born into this, their work looks compared to yours. Please don't compare yourself to anybody. You need to just do your own thing, find your own way, and keep on doing it until you get that feeling of, yes, that's what I wanted to make. Yes, that's it. You need to just keep on going. Keep on, and keep on practicing. Keep on experimenting. Do something, and then when it didn't come out well, or instead of throwing it away and being frustrated, ask yourself, what could I have done better there? What did I do wrong? And then try again and fix what you did wrong. Okay, that's a big lesson to learn, I guess. So for like little cartoony eyes, I went on Pinterest, I searched Cartoon Network characters, and I went and drew a few of the character eyes. Then I searched Pokemon and I drew Misty's eyes, and then I searched Naruto and I drew his eyes. So this is not like I'm drawing this information from the ether. It's out there on the internet. If you would just do some effort and go search it, you would find the same things that I find. Because it's not like I have any special subscriptions or accounts or people, or no, I'm a normal person that just likes to learn. It's not scared of learning. Okay, so now I want to do like a bit more of a colorful anime eye. I'm going to do it on this paper because this paper is made for the drawing of the markers, the marker drawings, right? I usually start my eyes with markers, depends on what shape I'm going to be doing. But for today, I want to do like this very simple, I feel like it's an anime style. I've seen it in anime before a lot. But more of an old school anime style, I think. More old school than new school. So with these, at first you can do guidelines for yourself. Usually how I figure out what guidelines to use is I will take the picture, put it on Microsoft Paint, open it in Microsoft Paint, and take the line tool and the circle tool and just like make lines for myself everywhere on each corner like this, right? And circles for myself where the circles are. And then I'll just take that blueprint and use that to redraw it. Because this, in my opinion, makes a blueprint. Because now you can see where this corner is and where the eyebrow starts is the same line. And where this is straight, and then this goes like that. And then you can see this starts where that ends. So you can see these lines kind of all connect to each other in a way. Where this shadow starts is where that thing begins. Even the shadows, analyze the shadows. Don't forget about the different, don't just see the outlines. Please stop just seeing the outlines. Please start seeing what's inside the outlines and analyze that for yourself. Draw over things. Go on MS Paint, make lines and circles so you can understand what you are looking at. Make a roadmap for yourself of what you are looking at. Okay. So because I don't need guidelines anymore, because I've been doing this for many years, I'm going to draw it for you the way I would draw it. Yeah. So this might not be very tutorially, but I want you to look at it and in your own way, without using my way, your own way, try and get to the same result. Watch what I'm doing, go do your own research, and get to my result. So this is the task for this class, for this lesson over here. This is the task. I want you to recreate what I'm creating here, whether it be with pencils, markers, whatever you want to do it with, doesn't matter. But I want you to try and get to the same colors, the same lines. I want you to try and make it exactly like mine. Make it look exactly the way mine looks. I'm going to start over here. And you want to go a little bit up and then more like straightish, a little bit down, but not really. Make your little wing there and then come down from that, kind of fairly straightish again, same shape as over there almost, but just inverted and not as far, just halfway, just a rough lining. I do have a black one somewhere, but we're not going to do more lining than this for now, because this, and maybe this, and also a little bit of a brow, just guidelines for myself to know where I'm going to put things, you know? Maybe where the iris will go, but no, why not? Because what if we later decide we want to change? It's easier to change if you're just working with colors in the inside at first and you line it afterwards. Then you don't restrict yourself too much, because the less you restrict yourself, the easier it's going to be not to make mistakes, because if there's no restrictions, how are you going to make mistakes? Think about that one. Now I have a card here that I usually test I have many of them, but I usually test my shades, my markers out here to make sure that I'm picking the colors that I do want to use. Green or blue, let's flip a coin. There's a coin. Oh geez, I'm too poor to have coins apparently. No, I'm definitely there's a coin. But you look at that, I have a coin. Lucky me. Okay, so heads, it's gonna be green. Tails, it's gonna be blue. Blue. Would you look at that? Tails. It's a R5 coin, you guys. R5. I'm so rich. So rich. Please go Google how much a R5 in South Africa as we work in other countries and see for yourself. Okay, so we're going to take a pale baby blue. I'm going to take the baby blue itself, and maybe a brilliant blue, I think. So let's see what they will look like together. Let's test them out. Let's see, baby blue, yeah, that's not bad. And then this one. This one is a little bit almost done. Maybe I shouldn't draw with it. Could I have already finished it? Have I been drawing that much with it? Oh no. Let's use the sky blue then instead. See if that. Yeah, that's fine. Yes, that's fine. Actually, in fact, I think I'm gonna do just normal baby blue with the sky blue. Yes. See, baby blue and sky blue, and let's see what the brilliant blue looks next to it. Like next to it. Yes, that's a good darker, deep darker. So you want like two that's fairly close to each other, and then one that's a bit more. Or you can come in with some, what is a royal blue? I wonder what royal blue looks like. Let's see. That's perfect. Perfect. Yes, this one. This one is perfect. It's not too dark or bright. It's just nicely there at the bottom of the light pyramid there. Okay, so we are going to use these three for now. These are going to be your starter alcohol markers to work with. And for the eyeball, I usually use my lightest, like the warm grey one. Warm grey one looks really good as an eyeball. Looks close to eyeball color. Okay. And we'll probably use like salmon pink or something for the outside of the eye, for the flesh tones. Okay. So you're going to start with your brightest color, where the entire colored part is going to be of the eye. Don't worry about highlights, we have acrylic markers for that. Just try and find where you'll be making your eye color, iris and pupil together. I'm going to start with the iris for this. And the pupil will probably be right there. And then don't color the entire thing for now, just because it's alcohol markers. And you see how blotchy it's looking? I'm going to show you now how to fix that, because we don't want the blotchiness. I keep on just lightly going over it until we have inked all the parts equally. See, keep on blending it, because eventually it's going to get to a point where all the parts of the paper have soaked up equal amounts of ink, because that's as much as it can take for now, and it needs to dry first. So I've been pressing on these papers, so there is a few imprints I can't do much about. So that's basically what you're gonna want to draw for the beginner, for the first part, right? Oh, let me just take a breath quickly. And also, it's smelling like that. Something smells terrible in here. Now, with that nice dark blue that you have, the darkest one that you have, you picked out for yourself, make the pupil. I keep on mixing them up. And the pupil. You can also do like a little section over there like that, just at the top, a little bit, and you can circle it again, but with this darker blue. Just a very fine as you can. If you can't, like me, and you're fucking it up, that's fine. I'll show you how to fix it also. Okay, something like that. Alright, then I'm gonna take that middle blue that we had, the sky blue. We're gonna start there at the top and start blending it like with a kind of a crescent pattern or shape. Make it like making a crescent shape with your marker, like this. So you get there, and then the same for the other side. Kind of just encircling this little bean shape that we have already down there. Not completely to the line, just like that. And then again with your very bright, your brightest color, your lightest tone, right? You're gonna come in and do this whole section here. Now this marker is also starting to go dry. That's one shitty thing about these markers. Oh no. At least they weren't that expensive. I can get more. Would actually like to get a bigger pack now that I know they're nice. Ah. Whoa, it's starting to look like an eye. Oh, and it's so easy. Oh my goodness. Now come with your warm grey and also make a shadow there at the top. If I say shadow, I just mean like a fat line of this color. And then for the back part, for this section, and I want to do it also a little bit downwards, like that. Makes it look like it has a shape. Aha! You could also, if you really wanted to, you could go around here. And do the, you feel me? Like, do the whole eyeball. You can do that also. Then, now, nice part of the inside eye part. You're going to take the fairest, brightest blue that you have in acrylic markers and a white. Get that closer. So with the brightest acrylic blue that you have, you're going to go over this circle that you made here at the bottom. And then with the one that's a little bit, you can use one that's a little bit darker also. A little darker shade. No, not this one. This is the greenish one. And just over the sides a little bit work with this one. Because it's going to kind of blend in with the darker things and soak into that. You can actually come over it again with your baby blue once it's dried. Back side, yes. Ah, looking good. Okay, now let's move on. While this dries, we move on to doing the rounded bits. Firstly, the eyebrow color. Let's make it a nice color. And then usually if you want to give that a little bit of tone, take like one of your blue grays, the lighter one, paler blue gray, like number 3 or 2 or something. Number 1. Number 1, I have a number 1, yeah. Start at the back and just a little bit forward. His eyebrows are darker at the back than in the front. Put that aside again. Get your milky white or your salmon pink or whatever you want to use. I would recommend using the flat side because you want to cover as much ground as fast as you can. Because it's alcohol. With alcohol markers we need to work quickly. Not too quick, but quickly enough for it not to dry before you're done. And it dries in seconds. So you want to know what you want to do and go in and do it and get out. No. Oopsies. My bad. Happy little accident. There we go. And then we can start lining it properly. So I like fat liners. Fat lining with maybe some thin lines in between. And then for the pupil, I usually do give it some black, but not completely. I'll leave the middle bit open. Yes. And then that blue grey for some shading on the eyelid. And then for the white, yay! Final touches. I'm gonna make a white there. Okay. And give it a second to dry, and then do it again. Or absorb a bit. There we go. Put more on. There you go. Marker eye. No shading. Easy one. And that's it. That's what I got for you for today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see me play games and talk about nonsense, you can go to my main channel called Triziana. I will be going over there to go play some games now and relax after posting this video. Who's gonna go edit it? Oh, nice. What else? I don't know. Please subscribe. Like the video, let me know in the comments what you think about it. Yes. See you soon, guys. Bye.